3, 4. Hang on. 1, 2, 3. 6, 7. So we just need Cam and Emily. Emily said her internet is crashed. So you'll just awesome. We have Cam. Oh, there she is. Wonderful. So we should have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah, okay, that's everyone. Okay, welcome to the final tribal council for Perjury season 2. Thank you all for being part of this amazing season, and congratulations on making it to the jury, and to our final 2, congratulations on making it to the final 2. So here's how things are going to work. The finalists are going to give their opening speeches. Then the jurors are going to ask questions in an order that I have determined that they know. So when I call upon you, you get to unmute, ask your questions, the finalists respond. Once all the jury questions are finished, the finalists will have closing statements, and then we will vote, and then we will find out who is going to win the season. So Cleo, you won final immunity, so you get to decide if you want to go first or second, and remembering that if you go first in opening speeches, you also go first in closing, or if you go second, you also go second in closing.
I would like to go second, please.
All right, no worries. So Ezra, you're up first.
Hi everyone. It was such a beautiful game. It was actually, I'm not considering it as a game anymore. It was such a nice journey for me. I've been saying that the complexities of the Survivor game, of this Perjury game, is supposed to keep is supposed to make people insane, but it kept me insane. I know that we are not here in the Philippines, here in our place. We're not really on lockdown. So I was hoping before that if I'm being casted in this game, it would be lockdown, so I would give more time, more effort to the challenges. But yeah, during my interview, I was asked what my game plan would be, and I've answered that from the beginning until I think it's time to strike, I will play not the weakling, not the challenge threat, but the mediocre one. I wanted to play under the radar, and it was really hard for me because I grew up as a competitive person. I am actually a varsity player for track and fields and volleyball, and it was hard for me to not give really the best in some challenges. Though I wanted to play mediocre, I did not attempt to throw a game. I was always giving what I can to the group challenges. I really wanted to win because of a blunder that I made during the first night of the game. And for the end of my opening speech, I would just like to share the testimony of Jack Nicklaus, the winner of 1972 US Open golf. He was in the 18th hole, and he was a front runner of the game. But then during his swing, a strong wind happened to go against his hitting direction, but the thing is, he was able to regain his balance, and he was able to miraculously hit the post. So his ball landed on the next to the hole. But the following year, his ball went out bounds. The thing that what I'm trying to say here is, when you are going to question me later on, unlike Jack, I'm not going to give credit to myself for the things that I have not done, but I will give also credit to the things that you guys have done that helped me propelled to where I am right now. So I have played a game of loyalty and honesty. Uh, I've tried to lie to some people, but then I also told the right thing about the real thing about to some people as well. I wanted to strike during the challenge where we had to do exercises, but Ethan was still there. Wanted from that point forward, I wanted to show my competitiveness, what I am really capable of doing, but I always fall short, and I decided to just continue on playing under the radar. So just like I think it was Adam and Shell who said, second or not really being the best in everything is synonymous to being the winner. Sometimes being the second in all aspects makes you the winner. So yeah, I guess that's it.
Awesome. Thank you, Ezra. Cleo?
Hi guys. I guess I haven't come here with a speech or anything. I'm honestly just going to speak from the heart about my experiences. It's been really like not only a pleasure, but like an honor to be able to spend the last 45 days with each and every one of you. And I know that I have a special bond. We've had special connections through like one-on-one chats, through group chats, and it's just been so much fun, like such a good way to kind of turn a horrible pandemic into a lighthearted and fun situation. So I'm grateful that I got to spend something that should have been really like lonely and tiring and like sad into such a like pleasure and good experience. So I guess there's that. In terms of my gameplay, I have very much been the person that's been to the most tribal councils out of everyone, from Tulum to Kaluba to Merge thereafter. So I've had to battle my way through the most tribal councils, the most chaos, as this game has unraveled. And I've managed to kind of come out of each of them. Yes, I got a cut like one vote here and there, but I've never kind of been the sole target of being taken out, which I think is a challenge in itself, to not get yourself so under the radar that you get kind of the sole, you're the one to go because you're easy to go, but not be such a big player that, you know, you have to be taken out because you're causing chaos or you're such a big threat. One of my key strategies that I came in here to do was to make sure that I made genuine connections with people. And I think I've done that with each of you. But the other thing was to, I'm really not good in front of juries. This is why I don't do litigation. Was to kind of make sure that in those connections that my partners also felt as though they were making an equal decision in what was happening. And so before I had a conversation with each of you, one of my key things was to kind of determine, where do I want this conversation to go and what do I kind of want to come from it? And so with each one, I came with like a predetermined idea and kind of maneuvered the conversation in a way that you kind of each almost thought it was your idea, even though I'd pre-thought about it. So whether it would be, oh, I need you to go get this person and see if they can come into our alliance, you kind of would often go and do, I don't want to say the dirty work, but you'd be the person to bring someone in. And as you do that, you'd often think, okay, well, I'm the one that's the leader of this tribe. These people are with me. And yes, very much I was in your alliance and I was there to be in that idea, but I felt as though I was very much making the decision and kind of maneuvering you in the direction that I needed it to go for my game. The fact that I'm absolutely shit at challenges, I think helped me as well. That was like not a ploy. I'm genuinely just very uncoordinated and not very good. But I guess it kind of worked out in the last challenge. I don't know how that happened, but it happened. So I guess standing next to Ez, he is an absolute delight, but I'm sitting here with two immunity challenge wins. And Ez have one if we're going to compare that. But by no means am I saying I'm a challenge threat. Ethan, you have that for sure. So yeah, I just kind of want everyone to know that I genuinely really enjoyed this game. I feel as though I've made big moves, even though you might not all see it. I definitely hope you can appreciate that whilst we were having conversations, you can probably think back now as to when I was kind of putting slight thoughts in people's minds as to what direction things needed to go into, or people that were having conversations about certain things, and definitely kind of pulling the pin and dropping little bombs when I needed moves to be made in certain directions and break certain alliances. So holding on to that and just making sure that trust was embedded within my game was really important, because in a game like this where you can't trust anyone, when you get voted most trustworthy is, I think, kind of a big thing. So that's my game. No heat, whatever happens. I'm genuinely very excited to see each of you. Hopefully we can grab a drink and laugh about this whole experience that we've done together. And yeah, I'm just grateful for our friendship and that we got to spend this time together. And I'm done.
Thank you, Cleo. All right, so now we'll move on to the jury. So one by one, you'll get to ask your questions to either both the finalists or one or the other. So first up is going to be Emily.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Yep.
My question low-key kind of stole from the heat, apparently. Anyway, my question was, what's your biggest gameplay regret, if you have one, and why or why not?
Ezra, do you want to go first?
Okay. I think I have no regrets about the things that I did in the game. I wanted to, maneuver to some threats that I could do. Like, I was just playing the nice guy, and then I wanted to, maneuver a little bit with a little bit of playing dirty. I think if I must say, if I have to choose one thing, it's me not trying to do a little bit of dirty work, more of dirty work, so that I could have bloods in my hand. Because, during the letters from home, I got a letter telling me that it won't make you lesser of a person if you play a little bit dirty in the game, and that a blood would be found in your hands because you voted out for someone. So I guess me not playing more strategic and not playing a little bit more dirty is my biggest game error for me. Yeah.
I think for myself, little does everyone know, I played quite a strong beginning game, and you'll probably see when you see my confessionals, the moves that I was making and the kind of the discussions that were had and the steer on the game that I was having at the beginning, particularly with Nat, then with Shell and Adam. I played quite a big part in making sure that those went in directions that I needed them to go into. But I kind of quietened down and definitely took not a backseat, but I was happy to kind of allow others to do more of the talking for me at the beginning of Merge. Despite being very much involved in the conversations, I wasn't the leader of ensuring that I had the conversations with other people. A lot of other people did that on my behalf to bring in the alliances that I wanted to work with. So I think kind of quieting down in the middle was something I also regret. And I also kind of wish I connected a little bit more with Cam before his vote, because I think that was maybe a little bit premature and a little bit an off the cusp vote, just because of certain things that were said, like right at that point in that 30-minute gap we had between the live night councils. So I wish I kind of got to speak to Cam a little bit more, so he didn't say certain things, so he wouldn't have gone at such a premature time.
All right, fantastic. Thank you. Next up is Ken.
Hello, Cleo and S. Congratulations for reaching the final two. I know it took so much courage and hard work for you to get there, and with that, you deserve a tap in the back. In a very brief moment that I've played in the game, considering those 2 votes that I've cast, it's you guys, the 2 of you guys whom I work closely with. I've never really experienced any lies and betrayals from you. We didn't get to that point. So yeah, I'm just gonna make this light and fun. And the beauty of Survivor, we actually don't have this, criteria or point system on how we should crown the winner. Our vote would depend on our perception, maybe on our personal relationship, or maybe on how we view your game from a strategic standpoint. And we actually have this, different versions of our truth or realities, depending on how we see things or perceive things. And it's so easy for you guys to change or tweak the narrative of your story depending on how you would want us or to see it, or depending on how you would like to present it to us, depending on how yeah, of course, backing it up with your own truth or with your own information, which is, kind of tricky as well, because we in the jury have compared notes already. So we would actually know if you're just bullshitting us. So good luck with that. All right. For my first question for the both of you, on a scale of 1 to 10, how likely, or of course, 10 being the highest, how likely do you with Cleo?
Sorry, I don't think I heard the last part of that question. How likely
Yeah.
what?
Hello, can you hear me clearly now?
Yeah. I heard
Okay.
how likely, and then I didn't hear what happened.
Sorry. On a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the highest, how likely do you think you are winning this game?
Right. I think it's hard. I don't know. I mean, I feel like there's so many anomalies in the game that, like, when I kind of made my little mind map, and yes, I did finally sit down and, like, I wrote all of your names down and I was like, okay, who do I think will go in what direction? I think it's so difficult because there were quite a few people that I had in the middle, and I'm like, I just don't know how salty you are. I don't know, like, what you value in terms of the game. Like, I hope we can look past certain moves that were made and kind of just look at the strategic aspect and the outplay, outlast aspect of it. And then I guess exactly what you said, it comes down to what the jury values in a winner. Does it come down to relationships? Does it come down to strategic play? Does it come down to challenges? So it's very much a subjective opinion. I can see Ethan giving me a little, unless he's eating. I don't know what this is.
Well, Cleo, if you would give me a number, what is it?
Sorry.
Any explanation?
Sorry, that's my fault. I'm a blabbermouth. Maybe like a 6.
6. Interesting. What about you, Ezra?
I'll say I have to believe in myself, and whatever I made and did not do worked well for me. So no one else will believe in me first if I'm not going to believe in me. So I'm going to say 8.
Okay, interesting. All right. Yeah, I'm gonna go with you, Cleo, first. I really had fun talking to you. I guess I'm looking forward to having this, bar and club hopping with you when I get there to Sydney. So my first question is, how do you perceive Ezra, and why did you bring him to the final 2 with you?
I absolutely love Ez to death. I don't think anyone here can say a negative word about this man. Like, he's a beautiful man of God who's done nothing but smile and bring joy to this game. So I'm not going to sit here and thrash a man who's like I love him. I brought him here because I am very loyal. Like, Ez and I have very much had a bond from the first moment that we met, and we wanted to kind of stick together. So yeah. And sorry, well, I forgot the second part of your question.
Yeah, that's okay. I guess just follow-up question, how likely do you think you can beat him?
I think if we're looking at the strategic aspect of the game, I think I've definitely gone far beyond what Ez has done, bless his soul. But I think Ez has been very MIA for most of the game. He's very busy with his work, as I am, as most of us are, but I still put the hours and the dedication into making sure I had constant relationships, as well as ensuring I had the strategic aspect. And so each of you know, as we voted, I was in those conversations. I was helping steer them, and Ez was very much tacked on in the last minute, being like, hi, Ez, this is the vote that we're going with. So I think I definitely, if we're going down strategic route, I think I deserve to win just because I've played a much bigger role than Ez has.
All right, so last question.
No,
Are you done, Cleo? Sorry to cut you off.
I'm done. You need to cut me off at some point.
Okay. Last questions for you, Cleo. What was the shittiest move that you've done, and how did it change, or how did it help you move further in this game?
I think the shittiest move has to be the Annabelle vote. I mean, it like truly like broke my heart to have this happen, because I wanted to go very, very far with her. Like, we had talks about final two from when we first spoke. And I think the unfortunate thing was that Tyrone passed her on an idol. And when someone's got two idols so far in the game, it's a really, really scary concept. And with such a big player who I truly like admire, like a phenomenal game. Like, we've all had conversations about how incredible her game is. No one could win next to her. So it broke my heart. I think that was the biggest move. It was the scariest move. It was the worst moves in terms of like friendships and like my morality, because yeah, that really came into question.
All right, thank you, Cleo. That would be all for me. I want to move to Ezra. We instantly connected because we are both Filipino. We share the same Filipino humor. And I do appreciate you sharing your, personal and professional growth and journey with me. I guess that's one of the genuine talks that I've had all throughout the game. So yeah, my first question is just the same. How do you perceive Cleo? And do you think you can beat her?
Okay. As Cleo said from the beginning of the tribe swap, we had a conversation that we're gonna talk strategy, because you know that in my fan, we were itching. Both of us were itching to start talking strategy, because people there in my fan we're all winning, and we only need to talk strategy when we need to. So me itching and Cleo being there is a big thing for me. Like, okay, I have someone to talk to already. So, having said that, Cleo and I really made a bond at the beginning, and I was really loyal to her. Remember that I was sent to Sajal, and I received a clue to the hidden immunity idol, and right after the game dropped, right after the call dropped, I told Cleo about the clue and gave her the real clue. But then we were thinking if we are going to share the real clue or not, and we decided to give a fake one. So all I thought is it's only me and Cleo who knew about the real clue. But then I also told Annabelle about the real clue. And that's it. All three of us. That's what I thought. And Cleo being voted as the most trustworthy, I pondered on that. I kept on keeping my loyalty with Cleo, because we were working together. It turned out, with Ethan saying and John confirming that Cleo also said that the clue that I gave is the fake one. John knew about it, people knew about it, and I was really shocked about that. I thought it was a secret between each and every the three of us. But regardless, Cleo is for me someone who's also loyal, that I knew that she's done that to protect her game as well. So yeah.
Do you think you can beat Cleo, Ezra?
Oh, as I said, I have to believe in myself, because you're asking me personally. I think I can beat Cleo. I knew that, yeah, I admit that she made a better strategic game. But personally, I also made a strategic game not known by anyone, because keeping my competitiveness is a challenge in itself. Like, right from the get-go, that's what I said as my game strategy, and sticking to it is a very hard thing to do. I wanted to maneuver, as I've been saying, but yeah, it did not work. So I had to stick with my first gameplay.
All right. Ezra, as much as I wanted to, vote for you, because hashtag I am a Filipino, hashtag there is a Filipino competing for a crown, hashtag rooting for a Filipino, at the end of the day, I am still a Survivor fan. And I want someone with a perfect balance of social and a strategic gameplay to represent my season. Your gameplay is still a big question mark for me. You mentioned that you played a very under the radar game, and it's just so hard to pinpoint or distinguish the moves that you made. Um, I see you as just, a follower, or if we would translate it to the Survivor dictionary, you are a ghost. And you know, mm, for me, it's okay. Do you agree that you are a ghost? And if not, can you walk us through those moves, the unknown moves that you made, regardless of how small or how big or how subtle it is? Because in Survivor, it's not just about the big or flashy moves. Sometimes it's all about the small, subtle moves that you made that made it so big at the end, if we put it all together. So, yeah, walk us through that.
Okay, I also had a secret alliance with Greg, but it was so sad that he was not able to make it to the merge. I kept that secret alliance to myself because I knew that Greg was being targeted by many people because he is a challenge threat. And I don't want to be perceived as a challenge threat. So having that alliance with Greg is also a strategic move for me. I also kept talking to Cameron, as you knew. Uh, uh, I was keeping Cameron as a number for me, and I was keeping myself as a number for Cameron because I was really keen on doing gameplay, strategic gameplay that will flip people. Because it was Tyrone, it was Danny, and some other people on the outside, and Cam was supposed to go next. And I knew that because Cam is a number, but I don't want people to see me as someone who's willing to flip within the majority alliance. It was sad. It was not a good thing for me that he was added into the group conversation, not by me. But I also told Cam not to tell any other people that we are working on the sites. And for me, trying to be a social threat is also a strategic threat. Because being strategic, you have to strategize if you are going to go the challenge threat pathway or you go the social pathway. So clearly, Cleo was not the challenge threat, although she was more of a challenge threat than me because she won more immunity than me, but I placed higher in more of the challenges than she did. Although she won more, I performed better, I think, than her. Strategically, being able to maneuver people socially and not burning bridges by voting them and by lying in front of their faces is something strategic for me. Although people might perceive it as only a social game, but for you to be strategic, you have to work on something that you are very good at and a little bit of all the other things. I think I made a perfect social game and a little bit good on the strategic, although overall strategic and the challenge pathway. So I guess that's it.
All right. Thank you, Cleo and Ezra. That would be all for me. You did amazing. So congrats. Good luck.
All right. Thanks, Ken. Next up is Annabelle.
Hello, darlings. This is your sleep paralysis demon. It is such a genuine pleasure for me that two of my closest allies could make it so far in this game. The last thing I said to you before you both stabbed my back at Final 7 was that the price of power is pain. and I am here to take what was owed to me, what is mine. Unfortunately, I don't eat meat and I don't much care for it. So I ask that you serve yourselves up for me instead. If you want to please me, you will show humility and you will show self-awareness. My question to you is, what do you think that this jury perceives to be your greatest weakness, your greatest flaw in your game? And how do you respond to us?
I'll go first. So I think the perception, and I knew coming into this jury vote, was that people would not perceive that I played a strong enough outspoken game. But I think we've all know, as like huge Survivor fans, that the people that play the biggest game are not the ones that go to the end. You're often voted out third, fourth, fifth, sixth, etc. So I think your perception of me would be that I did not play a strong enough or more vocal game. And, you know, I'll hand on heart say that I was not the most vocal out of the game. I was not the challenge beast. I was not the one like having conversations 24/7 with each of you. But I was the person maneuvering those conversations. So my downfall, I wasn't vocal enough. I didn't play the vocal moves that I think a lot of us would have respected and loved to see. So, for example, George was like a huge player on the last season of Aussie Survivor, and we loved him because he caused chaos and he was a big player. I did not do that. So I think that's my weakness for you, Annabelle.
Right.
Thank you, Cleo. Please go, Ezra.
Thank you. Just like what I've been blogging about during the can questioning, I knew people did not perceive me as someone strategic. But I've explained it that being strategic is being able to do something you're very, very good at, and then picking up things in the sidelines. I knew that people just perceived me as someone who's following orders. But you know, in the sides, I've talking to people. I've talked to John during the final four. I've talked also to Ethan, but also Ethan talked to the other side of the group. So I think I'm not gonna credit myself for that. I talked to Cam and wanted to build a relationship and a possible next move, but it was he was prematurely voted out. And I would like to highlight the fact that during the times of us voting you out, those were the times that I wanted to play a strong challenge threat already. But it turned out that people are still there who are doing better than me. So what can I do, right? Instead, I also just played along being the mediocre one, and look what it got me. I mean, I outlasted you, I outplayed you, and I'm here. Not that you don't deserve to be here. I knew you deserve it more than me because I voted you as the hero and the villain of the group because you were able to do both things. I'm sorry. You were able to do a single thing, but you're doing it both ways. You know, it's advantages for us, but it was disadvantages for the other side. I mean, you presenting yourself as the speaker of the group to the other side made you a bigger threat. And I thank you for doing that, not for me, but I knew you were doing that for yourself and for your game as well. But I knew I benefited for that, and I give you credit for that. So yeah.
Thank you both. It has been a pleasure to play with you both, and I think you have both played very similar games, and I would be very happy to see either of you win. It would be my utmost pleasure. So thank you for pleasing me this evening. And I look forward to being pleased more.
Oh, Annabelle, love you.
Thank you, Annabelle. Up next is Tyrone.
Okay, guys. I'm gonna send my location, just in case it turns tonight. I'm gonna send it in the Skype chat. I'm very afraid for my life, just to say. Congratulations on Cleo and Ezra both sorry, we're going to try and do this. We're trying to get through it, okay? Congratulations on both making it to the final two. It has been a big job, considering all the huge players that have played this season, obviously the ones on the call at the moment and the ones who left pre-jury. Cleo, I'm just going to remind you of a couple of people that played with you. So there's Nat, Liv, Wero, Shell, and Adam. And Ezra, the same thing with you. You also played with Greg, as well as the people in the old Kaluba tribe. My question for you is, and I need an answer. You have to pick 2 jurors to remove from the current 9 and replace them with 2 of the pre-jury cast. Who do you replace, and who do you replace them with, and why?
I will go first. I think this is not a nice question, Tyrone. I will play your game and I'll give you my answers. Nikki, I think I would swap you out and I'd bring Bless Her Heart Liv. And number 2, I think Ethan. And I think I'm going to bring Nat in.
Okay, I'll have to pick Nikki as well and bring back Greg. For the second one, I'm gonna have to go with Emily and bring back Shell.
Thank you both. Good luck tonight.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Tyrone. Up next is Cameron.
Cool. Can you all hear me?
We can.
Cool. Cool. Firstly, just congratulations to both of you on making it here. Obviously, everyone else tried to do it, but we couldn't. So you were better than us in doing that. My question tonight is pretty simple. Just if you could sit next to anyone here in the final 2, who would it be and why? And we can start with you, Ezra.
Oh, as much as I wanted to sit with Ken, I'm not gonna choose her. I think I have to choose Ethan, because as someone who has no knowledge of the game and new to orgs like this, and he was able to dominate the challenge part of the game, and at the middle to the end part of his game, he was able to learn how to maneuver things, how to deceive people by voting Cleo at the end and swearing to people that he did not vote for Cleo. He was also he tried really, really hard to be strategic at the end. And regardless of the thing, I knew that if I had to choose, if I'm in the jury and I have the power to choose who among each and every one of us here in the jury would win, I knew that Ethan would be first for me, and then Annabelle, and then who knows? It's just these 2 people for me are the biggest threats, and the biggest threats do not really go at the end unless they win all the challenges, which Ethan tried to do but failed at the very end. So hats off to you, Ethan, and to each and every one of you, because without the help of the people we voted with, I'm not going to be able to make it where I am right now. So I'm not going to get credit for everything that's happened. Half, if not most of the credit should go to each and every one of us. It's just that it happened that you have to go instead of us.
Okay, cool. Claire?
If we're talking in terms of who do I think has the most respectful game and would deserve to be here, I think I would definitely, without a doubt, go John, Annabelle, and Tyrone. They played incredible games. They all played strong. They played hard. And I think they all just played, were just so fun to play with and watch. And we're not scared to take the moves that a lot of us were. But the person is sitting next to me that I wanted to sit next to me the whole time. And kind of coming back to a comment that was made regarding being a GOAT. I think the GOAT is always the good person to sit next to, because they haven't really done very much other than follow. So I'm sitting right next to the person that I think I wanted to be next to.
Awesome. Can I add something else, Ezra? Based on just what you were saying before about how you like really wanted to work with me and things, if you so much so wanted to work with me, then why were you like 100% on board to go with the plan? To get rid of me. Why didn't you put anything in place to save me potentially?
Because if people are already fixed on voting for you, and if I have to flip, we don't have enough numbers. Because as I've said, they are already are fixed, and have already planned the Cameron vote. And the thing is, you were asking to have a split vote, and that is not a good thing, because you have it might be possible that you also had a conversation with the other group, and in our group we thought that you were planning to flip and take out Annabelle. Annabelle and Cleo are the closest to me, and I had to protect them in order for me to go further in the game. It's like me choosing two people between you as a single person, and I'm sorry for that.
No, that's perfectly fine. Thank you very much. Best of luck to both of you.
Thank you, Cam.
Right. Thanks, Cam. Up next is John.
As Cleo, pleasure to be reunited. I love you both, and that's not going to factor into my vote at all, or not as nearly as much as my perception of your gameplay will. So my question is for Cleo, my supposed ride or die, until I found out that I was far from the only person that you'd made any sort of end game deal with. So I'm not here to debate whether your moves were the right ones. Evidently, you stabbed all the right backs, otherwise you wouldn't be here. But the most important part, or arguably the most important part of this game, is managing the social consequences of your big plays. You can't win this game if you make big plays, or it's very difficult to win this game if you make big plays in a way that alienate relationships. So with that in mind, I want to know what level of consideration you put into managing the social consequences of your moves. And did you send people to the jury in a way that makes them want to vote for you?
Yeah. So I think I played the game quite well in that as I mentioned, I wasn't the most vocal. So for most of your votes, you wouldn't think that I was the big kingpin leader of them. But I played in a way that I wouldn't be targeted as like, Cleo's the bitch. She's the one that like got me out, but I was still very much involved in it. So that was a key strategy that I had in terms of still making sure that I had some sort of relationship once you left, and you weren't mad that I was the kingpin that did it all. In saying that as well, I think everyone here respects gameplay and strategy. As fans of the show, that's naturally embedded in our blood. So I knew that once most of you would get out there, despite, contributing, I'm not going to hide behind it. I voted every single one of you out other than Ken, because you got medevaced. I'm not going to hide behind it. I'll take that on the chin. But I know as Survivor fans, you will all respect the strategy in the outwit, outplay, outlast aspect of it. And at the end of the day, I'm here and I'm owning my moves. And I hope you guys have all had something sweet to drink and have positive thoughts about me and not just salty ones.
Yes, thanks. But I would argue that strategy is socially constructed. And it's just what I'm looking for is how you made sure that you yes, you outwitted, you outplayed, you outlasted. Nobody's denying that. You made all the right moves. But how did you make sure that you were putting people on the jury in a way that made them still want to, that didn't leave a sour taste in their mouths?
Because I made sure that I wasn't the kingpin that got you out. So you don't have the ill thought that I was the leader of that vote. You think someone else is the leader of that vote is kind of where I'm going with my response.
I can't speak for everyone else, but I did think you were the kingpin, so.
Yeah. I mean, John, I was so upset when I voted you out, but then I saw you voted for me. So, I mean, I think the love goes either direction. And irrespective of what happens, I know we're going to be good friends after this.
Oh, 100%, undeniably. Anyways, Ez, if you want to take an opportunity to answer the same question.
Oh, okay. I'd also like to give a little bit about Cleo, because, the group chat Ethan made between the three of us, exposing Cleo. and Cleo being voted as the most trustworthy, I think that the most trustworthy are the people Cleo told the secrets about. Because I did not know you knew about the idol, and people did not know that Cleo gave secrets to other people. So we were keeping Cleo's secrets. So it is true that Cleo was not really the kingpin. I was also not the kingpin. So I cannot say that also Cleo was able to, maneuver things socially very well. And it's fortunate that the people we are targeting is the one being voted out. So they're not gonna come back and haunt Cleo and every one of us, because we all voted for the people who went before you. So for me, being able to talk only a few with other people is something strategic with me, because I did not have to lie, because I did not want to burn bridges, because I know that some people might not perceive it as something strategic. They might be very salty about the moves, but yeah, I think I'll have to credit Cleo more on that one, and she won on that part of the game over me.
Okay, thank you guys very much. Love you both, and good luck.
Thanks, John.
All right.
All right, thank you, John. Up next is Nikki.
Well, I'd like to congratulate you both. Obviously, none of us could get where you are, so credit to you both, obviously. I would like to give you an opportunity to get your hands a little bit dirty. Ezra, you said at the start that was a big regret of yours, so maybe you can do it now because you're still in the game. I would like to know why you both think that the other person should not win the game.
Oh, it's hard for me to turn 180 degrees from the way that I played, just because I'm in the finals already, because it's a big feat for me, and because I just love Survivor. It's and I also want to win. I don't want to break the humanity in me just in order for me to win the game. I'm not gonna say things bad about Cleo really just to win the game. But yeah, I don't know. Yeah.
Okay. Cleo?
Bless his soul. He's so sweet. Look, I can't trash Ez as a human. I think he's beautiful. I said that at the beginning. But I think Ez is a goat. I'm gonna say the word. I can see nods. Like, he followed like the moves that most of us were making blindly without questioning. So I think in terms of putting the blood out there, I mean, yeah, Ez wasn't as strategic as me. He followed pretty much everything that I told him to do every vote. And I'm not taking the challenge beast thing, but I'm going to hold on to my 2 immunity wins. So if we're comparing that, I'm taking that one too.
Okay,
and
thank
also
you.
my beginning game was like, I'm so sorry. I think my beginning game was like significantly stronger. Like, Ez was in Mayapan. He didn't go to a single tribal council. He had smooth sailing right until the final, the what do you call it? The tribe swap. I'm sitting there going through tribal council after tribal council, trying to wheeze my way through Nat, who is causing like ridiculous chaos. And you guys have all heard it. And then trying to get through Wero. Like, this was traumatizing. Then I had to come in on a swap. Already having gone through so much kind of tribal council drama, then I had to come on to a merge where I was from an existing tribe which had no numbers, a second tribe swap that had no numbers. Like, Ez came into this with numbers all around. He had Mayapan with 4 people by the time we got to merge. And then he also had like the Kaluba people from 2.0. Whereas I came in from Tulum 1.0 with John, bless his heart, 1 person. And then Kaluba 2.0 with Ez and Annabelle. So that's 2. So I came in with 3 and he's come in with like 4, 5, 6, 7 people. So I think in terms of like having to really increase my social game, because I had no pre-existing alliances other than these ones, I really had to work so much harder and couldn't fall back to, oh, Maya Pan's a fun place to go sit with. John and I couldn't have done that. So that's definitely my trash talking. But as a human, he's beautiful and I have nothing horrible to say.
Okay, thank you. Great answer. And congrats, both of you.
Thanks, Nikki.
All right. Thanks, Nikki. Ethan, you're up.
Oh, such great questions already from everybody. Already the good ones are gone, so I'll do the rest. Cleo.
Yeah.
I cast you back to first challenge. And when you lost the speed element by 2 seconds, how did that feel?
I mean, I was heartbroken. I was running around this house like an absolute lunatic. I pulled a sock off my father's foot and then I got yelled at for half an hour after. Like,
Well, maybe it would have been a quick way to do all that, Cleo. Alas. Andy, that's my question for you and Ezra. Now, Ezra, so this is kind of touching off of what Cam was saying. I'd like to hear your side of this. Who would you rather be sitting next to you right now?
No, I'd rather sit next to you.
Oh, you'd rather sit next to me? How foolish. That is my final question. Thank you.
Thank you, Ethan. And last but not least, or maybe least actually, but last is Tyler.
You shady bitch. Well, I would just like to say I've heard a lot of talk about this Survivor fan and Survivor Stan type of talk. I've watched one season and that was this year because I watched with Ben, so I don't relate to that at all. Now for my very shady question, outside of being personally targeted. You know I love you both. You know, I had a great time working with you both, especially from that final 7 where Cam went out before. Sorry, Cam, and then I made a snake meme about him. It was fun. We've had quite a bit of wine, but my shady question is, if you were a cheese, what type of cheese would you be and why? There is a correct answer and it will determine my vote.
I'd say I would be a quick melt cheese. You know, in instances where I needed to be solid, I can be solid. And when you put me on fire, I could be a plasmatic liquid for you, because you know what I've been doing is probably you can say just going with the flow, and there's nothing wrong with going with the flow because look where it got me. So yeah, I'll be a quick melt cheese.
Yeah, nothing wrong with going with the flow, mate. I did the same thing.
I mean,
Cleo?
I love this question because I love cheese. My recent favorite, and I'm going with this, is a washed rind brie. And if anyone's tried it or hasn't tried it, I highly suggest you get on it. She can kind of hold her form and hold herself up when she needs to. Oh, thank you, Ben. Like she can hold herself up when she needs to, and she's strong and can stand on her own compared to all the other cheeses. She's simple, but like still really like flavorful. So she has some personality to her. And when you kind of cut into her, she's really soft. And like, I like to think of soft being trustworthy. And I think whilst you're all in the game, you all trusted me. So I'm sitting with that hard exterior because I can stand on my own, but like, I'm also, whilst you're in this game, very trustworthy and soft. And so I can pair well with nice different like fruits and like nuts and prosciutto, if any of us are meat eaters.
I do love a good prosciutto.
We are not all meat eaters, but if we are, the prosciutto.
Yeah, you both definitely took that question to places I wasn't expecting. Neither of you survived elimination tonight. The correct answer was Roquefort. It's a nice blue cheese.
All right, thank you, Tyler. Okay, thank you, jury, for your questions and finalists for your answers. Now is your last opportunity to address the jury with your closing speeches. So Cleo, once again, you'll go first, and then Ezra, you'll wrap us up.
Sure. I just wanted to kind of reiterate that there's no hard blood from me to anyone, as I don't think there would have been because I wasn't voted out. but like I genuinely value the friendships that we formed, and I really want to like be able to put this past us and just see this as a really positive journey in a horrible situation. I hope you can respect my gameplay and you're now understanding a little bit more about the moves that I made and how I went about making them. I think when you put me next to Ez, I'm by far a more strategic player. I made more moves. I wasn't just following the flow. Challenge Beast with her 2 immunity wins, I would take that too. But yeah, I hope you can kind of put past the vote that I put against you, because I did, and I'm owning it. But can respect as loving game, like lovers of Survivor, that strategic moves, lying, manipulation, you know, all those kinds of things are what we love about the game. So I hope we can look past the negative and just look at the fun and the positive that I brought to this game. And I really hope we can chat. And I look forward to seeing everyone's like confessionals and like all the different things you were talking about once we finally get to see everything. I think it's going to be really entertaining. And I can't wait to see some memes that I've heard about. So that's me. Thanks, guys.
Right. For me, I'll go back to the testimony of the golf player all ago that I've shared. I cannot take credit for the things I have not done, and I know that there are things that I cannot control. Do not have control over. So your vote is your vote, regardless of what happens tonight. I know that I had a great 45 days of my life in the game. I'm just grateful that I get to know people who share the same love with Survivor with me. And just do you. But yeah, I'm happy.
Okay, thank you, Cleo and Ezra, for your final speeches. So in a moment, I will leave for the voting booth. This one's going to be a little bit different to normal. Normally, we let you socially chat. This time, we're going to make you awkwardly sit in silence. One by one, I'll call you into the voting booth, starting with our first juror, Emily, going in order this time of when you joined the jury, so ending with Tyler. And just a reminder, because I know we have a few non-Survivor fans among us, you are casting your vote for who you want to see win the game. So the name you write down is the person you would like to see be the winner. With that being said, I'll head off to the voting booth and I'll start calling you all in.
Was maybe get on mute.
Sudah tuanya yang pintu. Anak, pintu saya. Oh, ini sini pada kelak kau. Tangan.
I have the votes.
Oh.
So I just wanted to say once again, congratulations to everyone. Thank you for being such a fantastic cast and a fantastic season. I have the votes here and we do have a winner to crown. So just a reminder, you want to see your name because these are votes for a winner. It takes 5 votes to win. So for the last time this season, I'll read the votes. First vote, Cleo.
Woo!
Second vote, Ezra.
Woo!
Third vote, Cleo. 2 votes, Cleo. 1 vote, Ezra. Fourth vote, Ezra. 2 votes, Cleo. 2 votes, Ezra. Fifth vote, Cleo. 3 votes, Cleo. 2 votes, Ezra. Sixth vote, Ezra. 3 votes, Cleo. 3 votes, Ezra. Seventh vote, Cleo. 4 votes, Cleo. 3 votes, Ezra. Takes 5 to win. The 8th vote, the winner of Perjury Season 2, Cleo.
Yay! Congratulations
Well
to
done.
all of us here.
Yeah. Yay. Well done, Cleo.
Congrats, guys. So happy.
You both did amazing, guys.
Congrats, both of you.
Here, it's so sweet. Oh, it's so sweet.
Oh, I love the
Congrats,
family
Cleo.
support. All right, so that is it for our season. Congratulations, both Cleo and Ezra. You've both played an amazing game. And Cleo, you're our winner, so extra congratulations to you for doing that. It's been a pleasure to host each and every one of you. And I hope this is the beginning of beautiful friendships between all of us. So we'll now move on to the reunion. I am going to hand over to Benjamin. And we will also have our
Give him 2
pre-jury.
minutes.
Give him 2 minutes.
Sorry, he's running to his room. Give
Okay,
him 2
I
minutes.
will stall for 2 minutes while we invite our pre-jury in.
Hello, pre-jury.
And we wait for our amazing reunion host.
Thank you, Ezra.
So feel free to come on camera as you join pre-jury.
Sorry.
Hello.
Hey.
Hi.
Oh, Sal. I need wine.
Oh my God, Shell.
Sal. It's been too long, babes. Been too long.
No need to be a dick about it, Tyler.
Liv.
You know what? I didn't vote her out, Annabelle. I got revenge based on everyone, okay?
Hi, Shell. Hi, Tori.
Welcome, pre-jury. Just adding, this has
Hello,
been an
Terry
amazing.
and Shell.
This has been
They're
amazing
really good
cast
to
of
meet you
hosts.
guys, but yeah, lovely to see you. Okay.
I can't see. I need to see people who aren't on video.
I don't know, but is anyone in Canberra and willing to buy me a bottle of wine? I will transfer you.
Jimmy Brings. Jimmy
Oh my
Brings.
God, Cleo, I'm obsessed with how extra your family is being about this. It's everything I could have ever wanted.
My mom is like, where is the crown? I need to find a crown. She's bringing me flowers in my room.
Cleo, this is better than the time you posted a video of your mum dancing on your Facebook. Like, it's a better interaction with it.
Are these flowers from the famous Maria?
Sorry, what video was that?
Tyler witnessed me getting absolutely yelled at by her the other night.
What videos did you post, Cleo?
It's the one.
About it.
Halloween, babes, Halloween.
Videos of me dancing. Oh, the Halloween.
Is this the famous Maria?
Yes,
Ah.
it is. Your name comes up.
Oh, please not. Okay, got it. Oh.
Oh my God, Greg's here. Greg, hi. I've been a fan
I've
of
never
Park
met
for a long time.
Fantastic, Greg.
He's connecting. He couldn't connect.
Oh, here he is.
Ready.
Okay, hello. Sorry, thank you so much for waiting, guys. I had to fill my glass of wine and also get ready for our reunion and awards presentation for tonight. First, I want to start off by giving a huge congratulations to Cleo on winning Perjury Season 2. Again, round of applause. No small feat, honestly.
Thank you. It was hard. I mean, look around the room.
And also, I just want to give a huge round of applause to our runner-up, Ezra, as well. Everybody, please congratulate us. Again, massive. It's very, very exciting to see so many people from the season here tonight. I may be a little bit drunk, so if I slur my words, pardon me. But we are now moving into the reunion part / awards show. I'm going to go through a couple of awards from the season, talk about some like game highlights. I don't have every award in this presentation because frankly, I've been working on it for the past 4 hours and I still haven't been able to get everything in it, but everything will be on the board once reunion has ended. But we just want to go through and congratulate basically everybody that's played, go through some killer moments, heroes, villains, blindsides, everything of the sorts that you'd normally expect. So if everybody is ready, I will start presenting.
Mom, get out now. You're done. Thank you.
Don't be so mean to your mother,
Cleo's like, I won.
She's bringing wine glasses that are empty for no reason.
I saw the knife as well, Mrs. Papadopoulos, all right, and I'm honored.
I didn't realize I was not on mute. And I was like, enough now.
So, if it wants to work, but it doesn't want to work. There we go. All right, can everyone see my screen fine?
Yep.
Oh, beautiful, stunning. So welcome to the Perjury Award Show for Season 2. We will start with one of the big awards of this season being Biggest Hero. We have a couple nominations for this one. Most categories will have about 5 people nominated. And people nominated for this category are Ethan, Ezra, Nikki, Tyler. And the winner of Biggest Hero of the season is Ethan. Congratulations, Ethan. Honestly, like Ethan.
Thank myself. Thank you.
Honestly, Ethan will have hero music playing out if this was a season of Survivor on the episode that he gets voted out on. I think it was pretty undeniable, but also the rest of our nominees also played great, like heroic style games. And I think anyone could have won this one. And then obviously we have to do the inverse of this, which is Biggest Villain. Our nominees for Biggest Villain of the season are Annabelle, Cleo, Danny, John, and Tyrone. And the winner of Biggest Villain is... No, it's not working. Oh my God, my dramatic reveal. Tyrone. Now, Biggest Villain again was so hard to pick because I think everybody here, and when I say villain, we don't mean it in like the negative sense. We just mean it as in
Can I clarify?
Go.
Where did this come from? Is this producer voted or is this from the VL?
We voted, babe.
Oh, within the class.
No, Tyler. No, it's a little mix of production and viewers lounge stuff. But if anyone has any questions on this, like message us. We're happy to talk about it. But Biggest Villain is not a negative thing by any means. So, moving on to the next award, which was Best Alliance of the Season. So we have 5 nominees for this one. First up is Three Blind Mice. As most people found out as Tyler joined the jury, the Three Blind Mice has existed since Final 7, and no one knew about it until Tyler joined the jury. Next one is the Fabulous Five, which is a beautiful alliance of Annabelle, Cleo, Ezra, John, and Ken, and that was formed very early on in the merge. Next up is the Unnamed Alliance, and we do shame you guys for not naming your alliance, but the alliance between Annabelle, Cleo, and Ezra, which formed on Kaluba 2.0. We then have the Idol Flushers / the Baked Good Brigade, which was Cleo, Ezra, John, and Tyler, which the photos for that, Tyler made them. You guys will have to see them postseason. So funny. The Baked Good Brigade was Elaine with her like tray of cookies, and each of the cookies was one of their faces. So it was very camp. And last one was Biopan. People might remember that from Chicana 2.0. Biopan became a big sort of narrative arc of the swap, which ultimately led to Greg's demise on this tribe. And the winner of Best Alliance is, of course, the Three Blind Mice. Congratulations, guys.
The photo is also great.
Yes, it is. Agreed. So next up is Best Duo. So this game was played very much in sort of like pairs, and there was a lot of cute little pairings. We couldn't put everybody, obviously, but here are 5 nominees for this, being Cleo and Ezra. Final 2, Cleo and Annabelle. Two of basically the 2 people that were on top of Kaluba 2.0. Emily and Nikki, forming on Chicana 2.5, I think is what we ended up calling the tribe. Ken and Ezra, who were a lovely and such a fun duo to watch play when they were together. And Shell and Emily from original Kaluba, their chat formed instantly on night 1 and was so fun to just watch as they interacted. But the winner of Best Duo, and I think most people see it coming, was Cleo and Ezra. Congratulations, guys. Final 2. Goddamn. Next up is the Best Pre-Juror. I'm saying this now because I have to say this to everybody, and I've said it so many times throughout the season. This cast is phenomenal, and I absolutely love all of you. And one vote could have completely changed the course of the game. So like anybody and everybody should be nominated for this, but we have to cut it down to just 5. So the nominees for Best Pre-Juror are Greg, Liv, Natalie, Shell, and Tori. And the winner of the Best Pre-Juror is Natalie. Natalie has just been so active in the pre-jury chat. Absolutely loving it. What the like jury doesn't know is that there was a mini that happened, oh god, how many weekends ago? Several weekends ago, where we had Greg, Nat, and Tori ended up playing in that mini together. It was great. It was so fun to see them sort of get involved like outside of just this little community. And honestly, Best Pre-Juror could have gone to anybody, because everybody in our pre-jury we're just so obsessed with, because they've just been so involved and have really enjoyed watching along this season. So congrats, Natalie, though. And then, of course, that leads into the Best Juror of the season. Again, this could have been anybody up for nomination here, but we did have to cut it down to just a handful of people. First one being Cameron, Emily, Ken, Nikki, and Tyler. And the winner of Best Juror for the season is Nikki. Congratulations, Nikki.
I won something. Sorry.
Again, we absolutely love this jury. It was so fun to just see sort of everybody finally come together and like piece things together. And I think there were points where Nikki was able to sort of provide clarity with this jury in order to sort of help everybody see every aspect of the game and not just focus on 1 or 2 aspects of it. So we thank Nikki for that, but we also thank everybody for their contributions, because the jury roundtable yesterday was very insightful. So next up is the Best Showmance of the season. Now I'm going to preface this by saying not all showmances have to be in game, and that is clearly evident by our first one, which was Emily and Rob. For people who do not know, Emily's favorite production member is Rob, absolutely obsessed with Rob. It is great, and became a running joke in production and also in Emily's prod chat. Emily does not want to talk to anybody else in production except for Rob. So Next up, we have Ethan and Tyrone. A fun little flirty one-on-one chat was created with them on Plum 2.0. And it was so fun to watch these two interact because they're just such great characters. Next up, we have the entire of Talom 2.0.
Oh my God.
Because that tribe was so cracked, and people who weren't a part of that tribe
was an
do not
orgy.
understand that it was basically an orgy in this group.
Yeah,
and like,
can confirm.
yeah, the tribe was a mess. So therefore, the whole group, polyamory gets nomination for best
finger gun
showman.
to floor. What do you think they were for?
Next up is Annabelle and Nugget. Well, Sneaky's photo was there. It's just Nugget in this one. Everybody knows classic hit that Annabelle created for Perjury's Got Talent, which hopefully coming soon to Spotify. Annabelle, please get on it because I will listen to that shit on repeat. But Annabelle was absolutely obsessed with Nugget. Who knows if the feeling was mutual? Remains to be seen.
No, it is mutual. It's confirmed mutual.
Oh, okay, perfect. Thank you for confirming that one. And then the last one was Annabelle and Ethan. Annabelle and Ethan just had this like connection long before merge, where they just knew that they were going to like flirt with each other in one-on-ones, and it had been forming basically since the start of the game. Of course, we have to have a winner for best showmance, and the best showmance was Emily and Rob. Next up is Social Butterfly. So the Social Butterfly Award goes to the person who just absolutely killed it in terms of like the social game in this game. It's really, really tough, obviously, when you're voting people out to have a killer social game, but also we think everybody did play pretty good social games at every aspect of this game. So hard cutting it down, but our nominees are Annabelle, Ethan, Ezra, Ken, and Shell. I want to give a special shout out to Shell here because on Kaluba 2.0, Shell was able to pull herself out of a position that I don't think she realized she was in, and really solidify herself and make a tough decision for Annabelle Cleo to decide who is going out of Ezra and Shell. So props to Shell. However, the winner of Social Butterfly is probably, to nobody's surprise, Annabelle. Next up is the Challenge Beast Award. So the Challenge Beast Award goes to somebody who did well in challenges, like a Greg, who was physically performing well, like Liv, who just killed it overall in tribe stuff, like Nikki, and people who absolutely smashed physical aspects, especially towards the end of the game, like Tyrone. And that's everybody. I don't think there's any other Challenge Beasts in this tribe. So I think we should move on. Just kidding. Obviously, we have Ethan, who I think everybody can guess is the winner of Challenge Beast. So impressive to win. I think in the end it was 4 immunities. Obviously gave one away to Annabelle at the first merged tribal council, but winning 3 in a row is incredible considering they were such different challenges and what they provided. And Ethan just absolutely killed any challenge that was thrown towards him. So congratulations, Ethan.
For my final trick, I'm going to climb up to the 2nd level because I've locked myself out of the house. So
coming as no surprise to anyone.
Perfect capstone moment to Ethan's arc. Like,
you want us to like give you a moment, babes, or like should we carry on?
Can we watch?
Yeah, can we pin Ethan while he attempts this?
Is his camera? Where is he?
Oh my god! Oh my god!
I want to pin it because I really do want to. Did that work? Can people?
Oh, he's gone.
Has that prioritized Ethan's camera?
Not on ours, babes. It was like everyone has.
Oh my god!
Well,
everybody,
can someone get like the ambulance on?
He did it.
Oh
dial.
My god! I don't know why I'm surprised.
Who is this man? My goodness.
I can't see it.
This is why we couldn't let him get to the end. You know, just for this reason and this moment alone.
Oh my god, Ethan! What the hell?
I can't see it.
Thanks for that, dude. Sorry.
That was staged, everybody. That was staged. Don't believe him.
Yeah, same with same with the oven being on, about to burn too. Same.
Oh my god. Yeah, so this is our Challenge Beast, everyone. So moving on from Challenge Beast, we have the best story arc. So there have been so many good stories that have come from this season in terms of character development, in terms of like placements and things that happened like either pre-game or in the pre-merge that ended up just completing a beautiful circle in the post-merge. So first up is Annabelle. Annabelle played just this absolutely killer game from start to finish. Shikana, like OG Shikana, was a little bit iffy and we didn't know what was going to happen on there. And Annabelle was just able to pull herself around and on Kaluba 2.0 smashed it in terms of social game. Absolutely killed it, was everybody's best friend. And come the merge, everybody was like, yeah, I love Annabelle. And no one was targeting her as a threat yet, which to us as production, shocking. And then obviously we all know how Annabelle went out with 2 idols, blindsided, iconic. Next up is Cameron. Cameron had such a fun story to watch from being on OG Shikana to Shikana 2.0 to Shikana 2.5, because he just went through this really big journey of finding Annabelle's idol, not telling anyone about said idol, which yes, also that was the idol that Annabelle had the clue for. Cameron found it, misplayed it in Shikana 2.5, and then was able to make it into the merge and just had this beautiful sort of like underdog, everybody wanted to vote him out at some point, but no one knew when they were going to vote him out kind of story. And it wasn't until live night where everybody was just like, oh no, he has to go because he's not going to work in my game. And it was just an unfortunate end to Cameron's story. Next up is Danny. I think Danny also just had this, again, Shikana is really representing in this category, but Danny really just had this sort of like big, like hot and heavy OG Shikana sort of vibes, came into Shikana 2.0, basically was like, my pen has to go, sent Greg home, and then yeeted himself off of that tribe and went and joined the boys and Ken in the Tulum orgy, and came into merge and was like, yeah, I've got this, and then was blindsided at that merge vote because of the work that some people had put in just before getting to merge. Then we have Greg. Greg, in all honesty, was so robbed because of the Mayapan storyline that every single person pushed. Everyone was like, Mayapan's got to go, and Greg was set up in a really good position in Mayapan, and when he got to Shikana 2.0, those bitches said, not on my watch, and cut him at the throat. So he was a little bit robbed in that aspect. And then Tyler just had this really like fulfilling story arc of being like well insulated on Kaluba, going to Tulum 2.0 and being well insulated there, being part of like 3 personal alliances that worked really well for him. And then after Emily was voted out, he was blindsided by that and basically just had this revenge arc that he had to go on, getting rid of everybody that had done him wrong. And he was able to do that and put himself into a position where he could get only to 3rd, and I will hold that against him, and I'm very excited to hold that against him. But he got to 3rd. He was able to take out everybody that had done him wrong, supposedly, and then was happy with this sort of story arc completion. But the winner of best story arc is
Hey.
Icon Legend.
Thank you.
Next up, we have Best Tribe. When I say Best Tribe, every single tribe iteration was so much fun to watch. We have some recordings on the board that you guys will see postseason, but it was very, very enjoyable watching every single tribe interact and kind of form these relationships. And come merge, it made it so messy and it was so enjoyable to watch. But the nominees for Best Tribe are Original Mayapan. You guys absolutely killed the challenges. The fact that you guys didn't go to a single tribal in that first stage of the game is so impressive. Kaluba, Original Kaluba. You guys were so fun to watch. You guys were the last remaining tribe on call on night 1. You guys were up so late and it was so entertaining. I'm so glad that I was the person that was in charge of streaming that night. And you guys just had fun calls like almost every single night where you guys were just drinking and having fun. Next up is Kaluba 2.0. Kaluba 2.0 was just so fun because there were so many interesting dynamics going on in that tribe. We just didn't know, we kind of knew what was going on. We kind of didn't know what was going on. And it was just so interesting to see it all play out. Chicana 2.0. So buy a pen stage Chicana, because it was just incredible to watch all of these interactions happen between so many different people across different tribes, trying to like scramble and make sure that like Greg was going to go home, and Greg was doing a great job at making sure Greg wasn't going to go home. And it just, in the end, it didn't work out, but it was so entertaining to watch, because the blow up after Greg's tribal council leads to Chicana 2.5's tribal council, where it's just absolute disarray, and Nikki's able to slide in and be like, okay, cool, buy pen's done. We have other things that we have to do here. And we saw a double vote played that saw Liv get voted out in this tribe, and it was so entertaining, heartbreaking, entertaining to watch. And Chicana 2.5 was best tribe. You guys don't understand.
No.
You guys were so craft. Like,
So
it was-
toxic.
oh my god. Like, watching you guys play was so entertaining from a production standpoint, because it was insane. Next up is Best Confessionalist. So this award goes to the person that provided very
Worst
entertaining confessionals.
Who's worst tribe?
We are not celebrating that. That is not something.
Any
Every
your-
tribe was
It was
Whatever tribe
Chicana
you-
1.0. It was
Whatever
Chicana
tribe-
1.0.
Whatever tribe you were
know.
on, Ethan, was worst tribe.
brutal in here. But Best Confessionals goes to the person who just provided really insightful confessionals, really engaging, basically was like giving good reads, just really entertaining to watch in their confessionals alone. And the nominees are Annabelle. I think that's no surprise to anybody based on her intro video that Annabelle would be providing content in her confessionals. Greg, I also don't think this is a surprise to people. Greg is very much an entertainer, and his confessionals were very, very engaging to watch. Nikki, something that people don't know about Nikki is that she had a whole like board put up with everybody's faces on it. She was like going through forming alliances. She had like little like colored pages. She had spreadsheets. She was going for it. Tyrone's confessionals are really enjoyable and lighthearted to watch, but also like, I mean, like sound quality, great. We absolutely love Tyrone's like setup that he has, but they were just really entertaining to watch. And Wiro was honestly the confessional king for the amount of content that he produced in 3 episodes, because it's a lot of content for 3 episodes, and we applaud him for that because it was so much fun. But the winner of Best Confessionalist is Nikki. Seriously, guys, go back and watch some of Nikki's confessionals because it's so entertaining just looking at all of the stuff that Nikki had prepared in her confessionals for this game. Like, she went in. Next up we have Best NPC, non-playable character. So basically this just goes to people that weren't playing the game but were still a part of the game in some way. These are fun little callbacks, like our first one, CJ. I think Joel-Larone, the alliance of John, Tyler, and Tyrone remember CJ the best, as there were several memes made.
Absolutely. I still never saved on my computer. Constantly. She is a queen.
For reference, CJ is Ken's non-playable character from the Perjury's Got Talent. Next up, we have Klub, Shilix, and Klum, like Heidi Klum. And they were the names that were given to some of the birds from the telephone challenge by Kaluba 2.0. For people playing along at home, none of these names are correct.
That's She-Licks as in she licks.
As in she
And
licks.
Annabelle literally gave it like demonstration so that everyone would understand.
Yep. And this made it all the way through the tribe. Like the entire way through the tribe, this stuck. And the funniest part was just like, it's Klub, she licks, like she licks, and Klum, like Heidi Klum. And like, it was just so funny to watch. And Rob had to turn his camera off for this one because he could not stop himself from laughing. We have Natalie's swing from her intro video. The video of Natalie introducing herself is so iconic because of her saying, "Hey guys," and then almost immediately falling off the swing. It was so entertaining. We absolutely loved it from a production standpoint, and people in the game really loved it too. Nugget, I think everybody saw Nugget coming as one of the best NPC nominations. A pivotal point in this game, I honestly believe. And the last one is Zendella's Switch. Shout out to Zendella's Switch, keeping her entertained all through the night one call on Chicana. And the winner of NPC, to no one's surprise, is Nugget.
Yes.
Very well deserved, that one.
I think Nugget fought really hard for that one.
Yeah, he's the only person left except for Cleo in the game.
I'd also just like it known that in the Edgic, Nugget does have his own Edgic strip, which you'll all see when I post it sometime, maybe now.
So Nugget has like an edit throughout the entire season, like everybody else does, and it's so fun to put together. So you'll see that as well. But yes, we absolutely love Nugget. Hope they're sleeping well, because obviously it's quite late for them.
Yeah.
Next up is best rivalry. So there were, again, whilst we had iconic duos, we also had iconic just moments of like people just losing their shit with people on not being able to do something. And so a couple of these include Annabelle and Danny, which I think everybody again kind of saw coming. Annabelle kind of pushed this narrative that Danny had to be the merge boot once they got to the merge, and she made it happen. And they always just kind of butt heads. It was really entertaining to watch from a production standpoint, but Lord knows what it was like for both of them. Cameron and Emily on Chicana will go 2.5. And also carrying into the jury, it's so funny watching you guys interact, because it's just so like, we thought you guys would like click somewhat, and it's just clearly not been the way that it's happened. But after like Chicana 2.0 and the Greg vote off and like the throne vote, it was just chaos between you two, and you guys were never going to get along. Next up was Mayapan versus everyone. Once Mayapan got to the swap, it was basically destined that whichever tribe lost that first immunity challenge on Mayapan was going to go home. So little did Nikki know, but she was in the safest position at that point, being on exile, because she was guaranteed not to go home, because Mayapan 100% was going to go first. John and Tyler, I think this is no surprise to anybody. Everybody knows about the meme that Tyler posted about John in the tribe chat whilst he was on a call with Nikki. So entertaining, because it was so accidental. And then everyone was like, what the fuck's going on? Like, I think people thought they were chill, and it was never chill. It was never chill.
It was never chill.
I love it, Tyler.
And it was so funny watching just that blow up and just turn into what became the rest of the game. And then the last one is Cleo and Challenges. Obviously, Cleo went to the most tribal councils out of everybody in terms of tribe challenges. Wasn't on the strongest tribe, unfortunately. I think an iconic moment that some people are still questioning was the blind maze challenge, where Cleo managed to rack up several hours of penalties by telling people to go 10 spaces to the right and then realizing that was incorrect. And instead of telling them to just move one space down so they were out of it, told them to go all the way back. So they got all of those points added onto their penalty time. It was so funny to watch, so funny to be a part of. But the ongoing joke, obviously, was Cleo and Challenges just never meshed well. So the winner of Best Rivalry of the season goes to John and Tyler.
Incredible.
Yes, baby.
The memes are posted, I believe, in Tyler's confessional thread, so by all means check them out. There are some beautiful ones on there.
It's titled Can't Trust a Snake in the Grass, if anyone was wondering.
There we go. Next up is Best Move / biggest blindside of the season. There were some incredible things that happened in this game, some incredible moments, some of which obviously we couldn't include on here, and they'll be included on the board later, but some of them include Annabelle and Cleo deciding to take out Shell. I truly believe that if Annabelle and Cleo like took out Ezra instead of Shell at that tribal council, we would have a completely different outcome coming into merge, because Shell was here to play. And not saying that Ezra wasn't here to play, but just in terms of, I think Shell was much more likely to flip on Annabelle and Cleo than Ezra was, because Ezra, Annabelle, and Cleo were such a close group of three, whereas Shell 100% would have been willing to flip on this group. And I truly believe that Cleo and Annabelle taking her out was a smart move and a big move on their part. It took them several hours of deciding to come up
Literally,
with
like,
who they
a
were
lot
voting out.
of it.
Our best decision and also our hardest.
Correct. Next up is Annabelle's blind side with 2 idols in her pocket. This was massive, and you guys have to go back and watch the tribal council that's posted on the board, because Annabelle's face when she got voted out was just like jaw drop on the floor, just absolute shock and terror, and it was so entertaining to watch. It was priceless. But also it was a huge move to make from the people that did it, taking out Annabelle, because she was such a force, having 2 idols in her pocket, having such close allies like within the game, because she was very tight with people, and so it was a good move to make. Next up we have Ethan and Cleo, which I need to double check my notes because my brain's not working and I've drank too much.
Can't be that good if you can't even fucking remember how good it is. I'm just saying, chuck it in the trash. Chuck it in the trash.
I'll throw it in the trash, babes. Oh, someone just turned into a robot then. I have it here. I'm just drunk and can't read. We have Ethan throwing a vote onto Cleo. Ethan throwing a vote onto Cleo was such a catalyst for so much chaos come towards the end of the game, because Ethan just was like, I didn't do it. I don't know what you guys are talking about. I obviously I had to pre-vote. I obviously voted to send Tyrone home. And Ethan did not vote correctly once this entire game, except for the Nikki revote. And him throwing his vote here honestly started a lot of chaos and caused divides between people.
And I would have gotten away with it too if it wasn't for you meddling kids and your dumb dog.
And it led to what we saw kind of helping the 3 blind mice form together. It split John and Cleo up more, I believe. It also kind of pushed Ez away a little bit, and I don't think people realized that Ez was very close to flipping with Ethan. And it could have gone either way, but that vote honestly started so much chaos for this end game. Next up, we have Nikki using her extra vote to take out Liv. This tribal council was insane, because it was basically 2 pairs fighting against each other, because Danny had fucked off to Talon 2.0, and we didn't know what was going to happen, but Nikki had gained that extra vote from Exile, and she was just like, cool, I'm going to play it. We're going to take out Liv. And had she not done that, Nikki would have defaulted gone home. So Nikki playing that extra vote was massive and took out somebody who would have been a very close ally to both John and Cleo had they made the merge. And then the last one was the Danny blindside once we got to merge. Danny did not see it coming. I think there was a small handful of people who did not see it coming, but it was a really big move, and I think started what ended up becoming an incredible merge. The best move or biggest blindside of the season has to go to, of course, Annabelle being voted out with 2 idols. Such a smart play. It was such the right time to do it, taking Annabelle out with 2 idols, because had she survived that, she could have survived 2 more tribal counts after that, 2 of her idols, and guaranteed herself at least Final 4. We would have had a much, much different ending to this game. Next up, we have our fan favorite award. Fan favorite was voted by the VL. So we have our nominations, which are Annabelle, Cleo, Emily, Ethan, Natalie, and Nikki. We have 6 because we have so many good people, and this is no disrespect to anybody else in the game, because it was so hard, and the VL absolutely loved everybody. You'll see it on the board post-season. But our winner of fan favorite was Nikki.
Oh, thank you.
Congratulations, Nikki.
Oh, you're making me all giddy.
Next up is our funnest presence on tribe calls. So there was obviously a lot of tribe calls that went on in the early stages of the game, and we just wanted to highlight some people that were really, really enjoyable on those calls, including but not limited to Adam. He was nicknamed Shannon Knoll by some people in other tribes, but Adam was so much fun to have on calls, because he was just such a fun energy. People in Kluber and possibly Kluber 2.0 will remember him not having a laptop because he spilled wine on his work laptop, and having to deal with that in the game, and was just so entertaining in those tribe calls. Annabelle, again, I don't think this surprised anybody. Social butterfly winner, being a fun presence on tribe calls. Emily just told it like it was. I think one of my favorite moments of Emily was her jamming out to Luke Bryan on, I think, an OG Kaluba call, and me going in and joining her and just dancing on Tyler's camera to Luke Bryan. It was weird. I don't know what I was doing. Do I regret it?
That. I must have been really drunk because I don't remember you joining the call at all.
This, you gave a
Really,
full
I even
concert.
remember that.
Yeah, you gave a full
I
concert.
remember like Tori disappearing in the background because she had blur effect on, and me like just doing these completely out of my mind.
It was a lot, but it was so entertaining. Ethan, every single call that Ethan was on was just so enjoyable because it was just so fun, kind of being chaotic in the background, doing stuff like he is now. But it was just always so fun to talk to and listen to. And Tori absolutely ruled Kaluba night one call, and was just so like funny. The VL absolutely loved watching Tori content. And so the funnest presence on tribe calls goes to Tori. Absolutely killed it.
Well deserved.
In the time that Tori was in the game, even though it was only for 2 rounds.
Well, it's because I got naked.
There was on night one, Tori did take her top off at one point.
I'm still gutted I missed that.
Oh, mate, just watch
the night's still
video.
young, babes.
Watch the video of Ben filming me come out and me going like, she's not wearing anything.
Yeah, I should post that. I should post that on the board.
I am wearing clothes right now, okay?
Thank you. We appreciate it.
We can change that, honey. We can change that.
And I believe this is the final one that we have here, just because A, I ran out of time to finish the awards, but B, because I don't want to keep you guys for too long. I want you guys to talk and mingle and get to like see each other again. But we have to nominate our player of the season. Player of the season obviously goes to somebody who absolutely killed this game for what it's worth. There were so many people who just played their heart out in this. And so our nominees for player of the season are Annabelle. Again, that's to no surprise. She had 2 idols in her possession. She had people eating out of the palm of her hand until she was blindsided at final 7. Greg went out in unfortunate circumstances, being a part of Mayapan, going into a swap, and just being on the tribe that ended up losing. But Greg was playing really, really well and had good sort of solid alliances with original Mayapan ready for merge. Ken was so robbed because she had to pull herself from the game, and we absolutely loved watching Ken. She was so enjoyable as a player, and she was so ready and roaring to go, having like chats with people, and unfortunately it just couldn't take off the ground, but such a good player. Nikki was just great in the game. She was able to put herself in pivotal positions, and like again, as I think was said earlier in the jury roundtable, had Nikki played her idol at the first one, there was a very solid shot she didn't go at that second tribal council and could make it further. Obviously, people aren't to know that with the information you have in the game, but still a great player overall. And Shell, again, I just have to shout out Shell from Kluba 2.0 because she really she just turned like shit into diamonds. And even on original Kluba, because people wanted to work with Shell, and I think Shell was honestly the #1 person on OG Kluba. And the player of the season goes to Annabelle. Congratulations, Annabelle. You just absolutely killed it. For people who don't know, Annabelle was my winner's pick. Preseason, rest in peace, my winner's pick getting final 7. But it is what it is. I don't care. It's fine. And that is the end of the awards ceremony for tonight, guys. We do have more awards of quote of the season, like voting confessional of the season. We have like funnest moment.
I want to see all of them. Can we see all of them? Can we just keep going?
I don't have them in the presentation because I was doing it.
It's been a long night in this household.
I will finish it.
Hence why I spent so much time in the voting booth, was just to give Ben a bit more time to finish
that presentation. But they will all be posted on the board probably either tomorrow or the day after. But the rest of the awards, the nominations, and who won them will be posted on the board, so you guys can see all of that.
Speaking of the board, if you cheekily log back into your accounts and visit the board, you might find that you can see a lot more than you used to be able to. So you should now be able to see everyone's confessionals There's no idols. They're all gone. Annabelle took them all.
I found every single idol. Every single idol.
So you now can see the viewers lounge, so you can see all their hateful comments towards you. No, they're not hateful, I promise. You can see all the confessionals, all the just pretty much everything you might want to see on the board, so feel free to have a look through that at your leisure.
Also, you guys will all be added into, and I think you were all just added into the Perjury Season 2 chat on Skype. So everybody from the game has been added to this one, so you can all talk in there, chat about the game. By all means, pop off. And you guys will be added to the Perjury alumni chat, which has everybody from this season and Season 1 in it. So you guys will get to mingle with those contestants. You can talk about it. There'll be a whole bunch of things that sort of happen as we move forward from here. But yeah, like, congratulations, guys, on honestly killing an amazing, entertaining season. It was so much fun. And now the rest of tonight is basically for you guys. So anyone that's drinking should grab a drink, and we should do a toast to
I
this
just
season.
finished.
Then pour another one, babes.
I don't have any more.
Oh, babes, get the whole bottle out. We're good to go.
Oh, did you get more, Tyler?
No, I'm still waiting for someone to deliver it.
My God, a mess.
This is the blood of my victims.
I would like to propose a toast to Perjury Season 2, to our winner Cleo, our runner-up Ezra, and everybody in between. Congratulations.
Woo! Intent aim. Oh.
Beautiful. Now feel free to chat in here, guys, and enjoy yourself for the rest of the night. All the production is going to come on. If you guys have questions or want to talk about things, do it. Go for it.
Yeah, we can confirm or deny now.
Nick, your lighting's really bad, honey. You might want to get a ring light or something. It's just not really doing anything for you.
We are not bullying Nick tonight. Nick is my new favorite member.
Let's stop this stream.
Oh, it's okay. Nick's only going to be talking to Greg all night anyway.